Foreign direct investment. The reason.
That sounds like a stupid thing that the Chinese government would make up.
No, but
High
it's
quality
actually not.
productive forces.
Yeah, I know.
Foreign direct investment.
But it's not.
It's
just,
real. It's
yeah,
real.
It's
I got all that propaganda in my mind.
I know. And you know, it sounds like that to me now, too.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was, if you look at this graph, it's very simple to understand. You look at 1990 and then you look at now, right? Foreign countries invested a lot of money into China, and that's what fueled China's growth. If you compared this to China's economic growth chart, I should have done that.
Yeah.
It looks exactly the same.
It's the same.
It's like a mirror image. Why is that? Well, it turns out when a bunch of rich countries want all their stuff made and to invest in your country, it makes the economy better. Very simple logic.
Because money's pouring in.
Yes. Now, the problem is when you have a government that gets too proud for their own boots, or for their own britches.
Yes.
They say, well, we don't need this anymore because we'd rather have full control over our people. So we don't want them liking the foreign countries. We need like a boogeyman.
You know also what honestly happened here? Is China just got too arrogant and didn't realize where the money came from.
Correct.
I think genuinely, the Chinese Communist Party, especially Xi Jinping, thinks that China got wealthy and strong all by itself.
Right.
Without any help from the outside world.
That's the thing. That's what I was going to say. You have a situation where China accepted foreign investment and they promoted it. And they promoted it in society. Let's welcome, let's be friends with other countries. That's why we were there in China's golden period. We were so happy there. It was a wonderful place to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fun. But then all of a sudden they go, wait, well, people aren't supposed to like other countries anymore because they need to worship our leadership. And if we lose control over the people and they make their own money and everything's because of their own hands, they're not going to need our full dictatorship anymore. Right?
Correct, yeah.
So they have to go, wait a minute, actually, foreign countries are bad. Foreigners are bad. We need to amp up the xenophobia, ramp up the nationalism, and make sure that people aren't too excited about freedom in other countries, right?
Yeah.
So you can see what happens. China cracks down on spies.
Yes.
They crack down on foreign companies in China because they're compromising national security, all these crazy reasons.
Yeah.
You get people riled up, they start attacking foreigners in the street. All these kind of things happen, right? The rhetoric, the feeling in China starts to get bad, and we notice this.
Yeah.
And you watch, look at the graph here. The foreign direct investment in China right now is like the lowest it's been in 30 years.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to invest in China. I mean, it's 80 to 90% is gone.
You might wonder why there's such a big spike there in 2020-ish, thereabout, 2021, thereabout. That's because of all the false propaganda coming out of China that they had COVID under control.
Yep.
So during that time when they absolutely didn't have COVID under control, the rest of the world was duped into thinking, oh, look, China only had like 4,000 deaths from
China's
COVID.
open for business.
And we're all dying over here while they've got it sorted out. It was all a lie, obviously, but a lot of people bought into it and invested.
That was bad long term, though, because as much money as they got at that time from that duping of the world, it wasn't long term.
No.
Like this ended up being a net negative for them because people saw the chaos that zero COVID that China did, all those policies that they did. They saw the chaos that ensued from that. And they pulled out. Look at now. No one wants to invest in China anymore. And they're super desperate to attract investment right now. Basically, there was a Chinese agent, so a secret agent.
Somebody working with China's MMS or whatever. MMS, you know?
Isn't that bleach stuff?
I think so. MSS, what is it?
MS, that's
MSS, MMS. I always get confused between the two.
MMS.
Multimedia systems.
So the Florida Telecommunications and
Ministry of State Security.
Yes, that's
so the
correct.
Chinese CIA, basically.
I think that's who this guy's working with.
He was.
Two articles.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's a link down below. It's the justice.gov thing.
It's interesting that they've been catching quite a few lately. Like, honestly, this is pretty bad because the guy was working for...
That's what I was going to say. He was working with like a Florida telecommunications company, but he was an agent for China. So he's working in America's telecommunications
Was he working for Verizon? I know
no, it was...
I think he might have. He was working for one of the big wireless carriers in America. Let's find out because I'd like people to know. Because if you are working for a big mobile company, you have potential access to all of the people that subscribe to that service, which is bad.
I'm just reading through it real quick.
Yeah, I'll find out.
So he was apparently trying to get information on people in Falun Gong, which is that religious organization or whatever. And so they were trying to get him to get information about people in America.
He worked for a major U.S. telecommunications company. But that's
We'll figure it out later.
Anyway,
We can't
it is,
dwell.
No, it's true. We can't dwell. But I don't know why I was able to read about it earlier. Now it just seems to be escaping.
Yeah. Well, let's not say something it's not. We'll find out. And well let you know.
Yeah. Anyway, a big one of those big things, and he worked for them for years, and so he had access potentially to a lot of information about the clients, and so that's why he was so useful.
Yes.
To the Chinese CIA.
Yeah.
Basically.
他们只懂吃羊，是不分男。
Well, he's just killing them.
He's
he actually shoots them, and you see blood. He's riding them over. It's like
大头儿子，小头爸爸。
that's just so dumb. Wow, that's pretty bad. Oh boy.
Train me to defeat him.
Like,
You think
what
you
is
have
he
the courage?
wearing? Like a suicide vest?
Pretty gullible, aren't you?
What the?
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.